Assalamu alaikum. In our last episode, we saw some of the basic reasons why one would deny the existence of God. We concluded that the reasons can range from arrogance to lack of knowledge. We also saw how there is a presence of the unseen, and we used an example that made sense to Shani. To find out about that example and much more, check out episode 1 of this series and join us on this adventure of finding Allah.
Hey Shani, I've actually been thinking about what we talked about in your office last week.
That's great, Shani. I'm glad our conversation sparked some reflection and contemplation within you. Do you want to maybe share what you thought about?
See, I understand your points about how everything cannot just be seen with only our eyes, like knowledge for example. But when I left your office last week, I thought of the time where I only used to believe in God because of my parents. I remember a while ago, when my granny was really sick, I prayed for her health from God. But she passed away, unfortunately, a few days later.
I'm really sorry to hear about your granny, Shani. But there's a few points to mention here. But finish what you were saying anyway, just so I can understand it a bit better maybe.
I was just really close to my granny, and I would still believe in God if she was still alive. Also, during this time, I was on YouTube, and I saw a really sad advertisement about children dying of hunger and starvation, and it was just really sad. It was after this that I just completely stopped believing in God.
You brought up some points that we all should definitely ponder upon. First of all, regarding your granny, how old was she?
She was 86, but why does that matter?
My dear brother Shani, first of all, death is something that we all will go through at some point. It is something that we can't run away from, and to be very honest with you, if we learn what death really is, it is truly something beautiful, and we wouldn't even want to run away from it at all. You can watch our video on death if you want to learn more about that. Now on to our next point. So you asked God to heal your granny, right?
Yeah, I asked him to heal her, and she passed away.
Okay, now I just want to ask you some questions, and I want you to answer them inside your mind. And maybe the viewers can do the same if they have similar questions. So question 1. Did you know how much pain your granny was in? Question 2. Are you supposed to be God's slave, or is God supposed to be your slave? And finally, question 3. Does the creation know what's best for it, or does the Creator? My dear brother Shani, we came from God and we have to return to Him at some point. He ultimately knows when that is. He ultimately knows when our test on this world is over. Unfortunately, we think of God as our slave. If He doesn't give us exactly what we want, when we want it, then we tell Him He's doing a really bad job. We forget that He's seen the past, the present, and the future. We just don't trust Him enough to be able to see the bigger picture.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, but what about the suffering of others? Don't tell me children dying of hunger and starvation is a great thing.
Yes, don't worry. I was just getting to that. You know, brother Shani, first of all, Allah has given enough sustenance in this world for all living things. In fact, a discussion of its own would be the various food chains we have for plants, animals, microorganisms, and humans. You know, it is actually us who are the unjust when it comes to dividing the sustenance evenly across all humans and all living things. We sometimes get so selfish, we forget there are other humans in need, that we can help, but we choose to have more for ourselves. Another point about this, brother Shani, is that If Allah just solved all the problems in the world, like world hunger, oppression, world peace, etc., then what is the point of you and me in this world? There would be nothing to fight for, no one to help. Everything would just be solved, there would be no problems. And then there would be no test for us. So this is something we all should consider. That we are the slaves of God, not the other way around. And for our viewers, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned to our Atheism Q&A series for episode 3, where Shani will be asking more atheist questions, where we will continue to try and help Shani in finding God and realizing his purpose in this world, inshallah.